Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Vanadhari Yamuna Tira Vanadhari Jaya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Jaya Gauranga, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to the Sunday feast. Before I start speaking, I seek blessings of Mata, Kamagiri, and seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas who are sitting here, who are more knowledgeable than me, who are more eloquent speakers than me, but somehow Krishna put me in this place, not today, to share some things I have heard. So, as you all know, tomorrow is the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who also we call Gauranga. So, I'm only going to cover some of his pastimes today. The actual reasons behind his appearance, the actual tattva behind his appearance will be covered by tomorrow's speaker on the actual day of his appearance. So today we're just trying to get into the mood of his appearance. So tomorrow we can fully focus on his mercy. Actually today itself we can focus and grab some mercy. So whatever I'm going to share, it's not my knowledge. I'm admitting it. I have to confess it before I start. I usually repeat whatever I hear from my spiritual master. I don't have any my own personal realization sneaked into those things. If there is anything in between, I truly quote and quote, I say my personal experience. But otherwise, whatever I'm going to share, whatever you're going to listen, everything is my spiritual master's mercy. So you all know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. He came in a mood, the bhava of Srimati Radharani to understand what she feels. What is that ecstasy she is feeling? He wants to understand. So he couldn't understand being Krishna, so he's like, I'm going to go. But my spiritual master says the reason behind it is, see, many times in our life, we, being a human, let's say that, being a human, many times we don't learn things just by hearing. 90% of the time, we don't learn things by hearing. Most of the time, we have to see somebody doing it, we have to see somebody experiencing it, we have to see somebody practicing it, or unfortunately, sometimes we just have to go through it, right? Some experiences. So Krishna, he could see that, he spoke Bhagavad Gita at the end of Dwapara to Arjuna. He gave many instructions through that Gita, but not many people could understand, not many people could follow. So he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to actually show us how to practice those principles that he taught us. So, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in Mayapur, Navadvip Dham, and before his appearance, Advaita Mahaprabhu did lot of worship to Shaligrams. Because before the Lord appears, what he does, he just, like in our daily life, like when if President of United States come to Columbus, he's not going to drive like as and park the car and walk into 379 West Acre. His whole entourage comes first and see any, security issues around this. They will block the roads. They will completely empty the streets so that all his the private cars can park, and they make sure everything is clean, everything is this, he has facility to sit, he has this, he has that. So they make sure everything is upfront, everything is arranged, then he comes. So similarly, when Krishna wants to come, he sends his entourage first. So Advaita Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar, Nityananda Mahaprabhu, so the whole entourage came, Pundarika, Udyanidhi, Mukunda, Murari, so many of his intimate associates, they all appeared in different places, waiting for the Lord to appear. So in India, the eclipse, the what you call lunar eclipse, is considered very inauspicious. When the lunar eclipse comes, they actually close all the windows, put the curtains, so kids don't see outside and nothing inauspicious comes. Whatever you cook on that day, also people generally don't eat because they think it's very inauspicious. So, but Krishna, when he wants to do something, he will do it at that extreme, So on that lunar eclipse day, everybody's like, it's inauspicious, so everybody went to Ganga to bathe so that they get purified, any contamination is there, everything will go away. So thousands and thousands of people chanting the names of the Lord, and they are bathing in Ganga. And during that period, during that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadvip. So from childhood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like when he cries. These days, when kids cry, what will we do? We'll stuck a pacifier in their mouth, or we'll hold them and run around, or we'll swing them, or we'll do some things. Then they'll stop crying, or some other things, change of diapers, this that. But during that time, when Nimai cries, the only way he will stop crying is when everybody starts chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. All the ladies gather around him and chant the holy names with so much enthusiasm. Then he laughs. As soon as they stop, and then he will cry. So that is his lullaby, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? So they sing and then he stops. Like that, Nimai was growing up nicely. So we'll share a couple of Bala Leela and then a couple of other pastimes. So one day, one Brahman comes. He's a traveling Brahman, traveling pilgrim. He comes to Jagannath Mishra's home, who Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata are parents of Nimai Pandit, who is Gaurang Mahaprabhu. Because he born under a neem tree, his mother named him Nimai. And his grandfather, he saw his horoscope and he could see who he is, so he named him Vishwambar. So Nimai was a small child, and one pilgrim Brahmin comes to their home. He is a traveling pilgrim. So Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata, they are very happy to receive him. They're like, oh, how fortunate we are that Sadhu came to our house. And so please come, please come, please come and let us know how can we serve you. And then this pilgrim says, I have little Gopal with me, so is there any facility that I can cook? Because I usually live in the forest, so all I offer is fruits and roots to Gopal. So is there any the opportunity or facility that I can cook for Gopal? And then Sachimata Jagannath said, oh, it's our pleasure. So what else we need? So they completely thoroughly cleans the kitchen, gives him nice pots, and then gives him all the bhoga that he needed. So and then this Brahmin cooks nice, rice, what, few kinds of preparations. He prepares everything, and then he makes the bhoga plate, and then he puts in front of Gopal, and then he closes his eyes, and then he chants the mantra for the Gopal to invite Gopal to have the bhoga. And then when he opens his eyes, whom he sees there? Nimai. He is eating from the plate. And then this Brahmin gets shocked. He's like, oh, Krishna, Krishna, oh, hi, what are you doing? Oh my God, this kid spoiled my offering. This kid spoiled my offering. And Jagannath Mishra Sachi comes running, and they see Nimai with food in his hand, eating from the plate. And then Jagannath Mishra gets upset, and then he picks up a stick, and then he runs behind Nimai. You're becoming too mischievous. And then Nimai starts running. And then this Brahmin says, oh, no. He's a small child. He doesn't know all these rules, all these regulations, all these standards of offering bhoga to the Lord. He's a child. Don't do anything to him. Leave him alone. So then he says, okay, no, forget it. Just offer me some fruits and roots. I'm happy with that. Then Jagannath Mishra says, no. You came to our home for the first time. How can we let you eat fruits and roots? No. Please cook again. We will clean everything for you, and then please cook again. And then this Brahmin says, okay, just to make you happy, I'll try again. Again, they'll clean the whole kitchen. They will take off all the preparations that they cooked. They keep it away. And then again, this Brahmin cooks again. He makes again all the preparations. Again, he makes the bhoga plate. And then he puts in front of Gopal. And then he chants the mantra. And then he closes his eyes. He opens his eyes, and then Nimai, eating from the plate. And this Brahmin says, hi, what happened to you? Why are you doing this? And Jagannath Mishra comes running again. It's like, oh, Nimai, what's wrong with you? This is how you serve Vaishnavas when they come to our home. This is not how you treat Vaishnavas when they come to our home. What are you doing? And then Sachimata comes and he picks up Nimai, and then this Brahmin says, forget it. I'm not going to cook again. It's already too late. It's night 1 o'clock now. I'm not going to cook again. Leave it. I'm happy with fruits and roots. Anyway, I'm used to live in the forest. That's all I eat. So don't worry. Just give me some fruits and roots. Then Nimai's brother, right? He comes out of the room. He's so beautiful. He's so elegant to look at him. And then when this Brahmin looks at him, he gets mesmerized. And then Nimai's brother, he requests us that please, just one last time, please cook. The Brahmin says, no, it's already too late. He's like, no, it's not late. Please cook again. Please, this time we'll make sure Nimai is not even around this place. So please cook again. So Sachimata takes Nimai and go to the neighbor's house. And she tells all the neighboring ladies, keep Nimai. Make sure he doesn't get out of your houses. Should not come to my home. Keep him strictly here. And then the lady says, okay, we got him. You go. And then they started singing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Nimai started smiling, dancing. And then they kept saying, Nimai, why you did that? The Brahmin who came, we don't even know what kind of standards he has. We are pure Brahmins and we don't eat from anybody's plate. You get contaminated by doing like that. Why did you eat from his plate? He's like, he called me, so I went. You're like, he called you? You're like, yeah. You're like, Nima, you're becoming too mischievous. Why will he call you to eat? He's Parikshit, what is it? You can come sit here. So why are why you eat from his plate? Then they say, so you stay here. So now the third time the Brahmin cooks and then he offers the bhoga, and then at this time Nimai, he who is Nimai? Krishna himself, right? So he calls Nidra Devi. You know how Nidra Devi is expert, right? We all experience during japa in the morning. So Nidra Devi comes, and then effortlessly, everybody goes to sleep except the Brahmin and the Nimai. So the Brahmin comes, puts the offering, he opens his eyes, chants the mantra for his Gopal, and then Nimai comes. And then he's like, hi, Krishna, Krishna. This time nobody responds because everybody is fast asleep. Nobody cares. He's like, and then Nimai says, what are you doing? Why were you screaming like this? And last 2 times I'm observing, what's wrong with you? I'm doing nothing wrong. You called me and I'm coming and I'm just having what you're giving me. And then this Brahmin looks at Nimai and Nimai reveals his Gopal's form, who is his dear deity. And then he sees Vrindavan, he sees Krishna, Balaram, he sees the whole Yamuna river, everything he sees. And this Brahman gets into trance, he gets into ecstasy. He's like, his tears are flowing from his eyes. He's like, you are my Lord, you are my Lord. And then he says, you called me and I came. And he says, oh Brahman, I know you have been my pilgrim beggar, life after life. Even when I was in Vrindavan as Krishna, you used to come to Nanda Baba's home. You don't remember, but I remember. And then he says, I am very pleased with you, but don't reveal what you saw right now to anyone. And then Gopal runs. And then Nidra Devi leaves the house, the neighboring house, and then everybody gets up as if what happened. As if they didn't know that they went to sleep. They didn't get up. But when they get up, what did they hear? This Brahman is holding the rice, jumping, Hare Krishna, Gopal, Gopal, Hari, Hari, and he's rubbing the rice all over his body, face. Gopal, Gopal, Hari, 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 Hari. And then Jagannath Mishra comes and he looks at the Brahman and is like, what happened? All the rice all over the body. They're like, what happened to you? He couldn't say anything what happened because Gopal's order is keep quiet. He's like, what happened to you? Is everything okay? He's like, nothing, I'm taking shower. And then he starts cleaning up his body. But Nimai tells the Brahman that, you don't go out of Mayapur, you stay in Mayapur, and then you can watch my childhood pastimes. So the Brahman, he was staying there in Navadvip, and then he used to watch Nimai's Balalila, Nimai's childhood pastimes when he was there. So Nimai was very, very mischievous when he was a child. We hear a lot of pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, how he used to steal gopis, clothes and this and that, so many stealing butter. But Nimai is no less than Krishna in his, Balalila. Nimai, when he, all his friends, whatever Nimai does, his friends does too, because they want him to be happy. So Nimai, when all the Brahmins, when they were taking shower in Ganga around noontime, before they do noon Gayatris, so when they chant, standing in the water, they are taking shower to chant Gayatri, Nimai and his friends, they jump into the Ganga and they go under the water. And they're all standing at the shore, in the water, knees depth, and then they're chanting their Gayatri, and then Nimai goes and then he pulls legs. And then they just fell flat. Then they feel flat on the water, And then sometimes Nimai, they close their eyes and then they chanting Gayatri. And then Nimai, he swallows the water and then he goes under the water. He comes right in front of the face like this to the Brahmins, right? And then as soon as they open their eyes, he says, what is there in his mouth? Ganga water. He spills water on them. So much mischievous, so much mischievous. So all the Brahmins, they go to Jagannath Mishra. And they say, Jagannath Mishra, these are all the things that your son is doing. How can we maintain our sanctity? How can we maintain our cleanliness when we're bathing in Ganga, when we're chanting Gayatri? See how much mischievous your son is doing. Jagannath Mishra is like, I'm so sorry, please, I will take care of him. Please don't worry, he is supposed to be in school at noon time. I don't know why he is at Ganga, Mother Ganga, and then he says, Jagannath Mishra, the Brahmin says, we are very ashamed to say this, but we are we have to say this. Mataji's bed on one side of the Ganga and Prabhu's bed on one side of the Ganga. But Nimai, when we are all bathing, he exchanges the clothes. He puts all the Mataji's clothes on men's side, all men's clothes on the Mataji's side. And when we come out of the Ganga, when we come out of the Ganga, all we see is all saris and cholis and whatnot. What do we do with it? But we cannot walk in the Navadvip, we cannot walk in Mayapur naked. So we have to wear saris. And then Mataji's on the other side, they come out of the Ganga, they don't have their saris or anything. They have to wear their dhotis and walk in the Navadvip. Jagannath Mishra, what should we do with your child? And then the girls, little girls, they go to Sachi Mata. And he says, when we are doing worship, when we are worshipping the Devi to get good husband, he comes and says, give me those offerings. If you give me those offerings, I give you the blessing that you will get a good, handsome husband who will take care of you nicely. And if you don't give the husband, he will walk little distance and he turns around and says, you did not give me the offering? So I'm telling you, you're going to get an old man as your husband with 4 more co-wives. So we're all scared. So we run and give the bhoga to him. What do we do, Sachi Mata? He's doing all this mischievous. And sometimes he comes and pulls my chori and he says, will you marry me? So what do we do with your child, Sachi Mata? He's doing all this. And then Sachi Mata gets Sati Mata like, oh, you're all like my daughters. Please don't feel bad. I'll take care of me, mine. But Jagannath Mishra is not like that. So he picks up a stick. But these girls, these Brahmins, like Krishna's pastime, they complain, but they're doing with so much love for Nimai. When Jagannath Mishra picks up the stick, these girls runs before him. They go to Ganga and say, Nimai, Nimai, we all complained to your parents. So your father is coming with a stick. You run away from here, you run away from here. And he looked at him like that, and then he tells his friends, if my father comes, just tell him I didn't come to Ganga today. And then he runs. And then all his friends are then jumping and bathing in the Ganga, and Jagannath Mishra comes and looks for Nimai. He don't find him, and he asks his friends, where is Nimai? And they say, Nimai did not come today. He didn't come to Ganga today. But Nimai on the other side, in the other street, he goes to Sachi Mata, complete dry, all dust all over his hair and clothes, as if he played in the school. He ran in the school. And then he was sitting in Sachi Mata, kissing Sachi Mata. And then Jagannath Mishra comes with a stick. As soon as he sees his father, he jumps onto Jagannath Mishra and he gives kisses to Jagannath Mishra, and Jagannath Mishra heart smells. Looking at the beauty of Nimai, and Jagannath Mishra forgets everything. So there are many pastimes like that with Nimai as child. So, but Nimai grows up slowly, and then everybody was praying him that he becomes a devotee. Seeing this mischievousness, like when will he become a devotee? When he will become a gentleman in our language? He's so mischievous. Anyway, Nimai grows up. He goes to Gaya, and when he comes back from Gaya to Mayapur, he meets all his devotees, and they used to do so much kirtan in Srivas Angan. Every day they used to do kirtan in Srivasanga. One day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, like, we are all singing during the day. We are doing so much kirtan during the day, but we are sleeping so much in the night. We are wasting so much of time in the night. So why should we sleep in the night? Why just can't we do kirtan all night? And then they said, everybody says with so much of enthusiasm, Hari Bol, yes, we will chant during the night too. So then they started doing night kirtans, but not everybody is allowed. Only his intimate servants are allowed for the kirtan in the night. But the people, the Brahmins who are in the outside of the door, they are like, we know why this Srinivas is not allowing us to inside, because they are not actually doing kirtan inside. During the day, they do all these tantra, mantra, and then they attract these girls, and then they call them during the night, and they lock the doors, and they dress them like kings, and they drink, and then they do all kinds of nonsense. That's why they're not allowing us. But they don't know what's going on inside. And then one person says, no, they're actually doing wonderful kirtan. We are so unqualified that Nima is not allowing us to come inside. And then they say, oh, you are also on their side. And they start beating him up. So they were like that. But anyway, so one day, Srivas, in Srivas Sangan, he has an altar. Srivas has an altar. Vishnu, they worship Vishnu. So one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in that bhava. And then he comes and sits on the altar of Vishnu. And he says, Srivas, bathe me. And then the Mahaprakash that he is showing to all of them, they get so much love. Their love is just, the hearts are exploding with love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then all the associates, they started getting water from Ganga, pots and pots. They're lining up from Ganga all the way to Sriva's house, and they're bringing pots and buckets of water, and they're pouring on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they're pouring. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees one girl, she's very sincerely holding the pots and lining up. She's not even, like, just say, really Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here. With our own eyes, if you can see. We don't have the eyes to see. We need those chakshushu to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are there, but we couldn't see, right? But if you really could see, like, if you stand here, if you have an opportunity to say, oh, every Columbus Krishna community congregation has an opportunity to take this bucket of water and pour on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting right on the hundi box. So how many of us go outside and look at the trees, the leaves, kids playing outside? How many of us do that? None. We're all eager. We're all in the line to just come and bathe Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this girl, she was so busy just filling the buckets and keeping in the line, filling the buckets and keeping in the line. She's not even looking at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was looking at her, right? So he asked Srivas, who is that girl? Srivas says, oh, she's one of our sincere maid servants. So she's our maid servant, and her name is Dukhi. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Dukhi? It doesn't feel good in my heart, that name. Her name should not be Dukhi. Call her. And then Dukhi comes in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, those days when kids born, some parents, the kids die very quickly. So they don't want them to die quickly. So they name them Dukhi. So Dukhi means miserable. The meaning of Dukhi is miserable. So their belief is like when Yamaraj comes and say, oh, miserable, okay, leave it. I don't want to take her, So that's their belief that Yamaraj will not take them away and death will not come very quickly. So that's how they name her Dukhi. So Dukhi comes in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, I don't feel good that your name is not correct. So he says, your name should be Sukhi, all happiness. And then he gives her Krishna Prem. So if we understand something for this pastime, there are tons of lessons to learn from this pastime. Simple pastime. Dukhi putting buckets in water and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls her and says Sukhi. Pastime is over. But what we are learning, what we can learn from this pastime? Sincerity. Sincerity and in serving Krishna without our ego being in the center. Sukhi, she's not expecting any name, she's not expecting any fame. She's not thinking, oh, this is so small service. They're actually doing something. They're doing Chandan to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their personal service. They are putting garlands to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I wish I can make that garland. I'm not in front of him that he can see me doing seva to him so that I can get some attention. She's not thinking anything. So in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes, there is no small service, there is no big service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees the internal content of our heart when we do the service. Very, very important devotees. Even when we broom the floor, he sees the internal content, how grateful we are to do that service to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How grateful we are to serve Vaishnavas. How grateful we are that I have an opportunity to do this today. We have both hands, both legs, eyes, everything is perfect. There are many people in the world, they cannot see from birth, blindly, they're born blind. So how grateful we are. Do we really have that devotion to Krishna that we are doing that seva? Are we doing that seva because I get my paycheck at the end of it? Or I get some name, I get some fame, I get some attention of the senior Vaishnavas by doing that seva? If any of these intentions, any of these motivations are there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna, he is not looking at us. If our internal content is grateful heart, if our internal content is sincerity in pleasing Krishna, if our desire is only to please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please our spiritual master, please Krishna, then Krishna sees us. That's what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told us, right? Don't try to see Krishna. Try to serve Krishna in such a way that Krishna wants to come and see. That's what Sukhi is representing. She is serving in such a way that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls her and says, you are Sukhi, be happy. That's the inspiration we should take from this pastime. Even when we wash pots, some people, we need this big distributors comes and says, I distributed 100 books. And we don't sit and say, oh, I didn't even do one book distribution. Okay, that's okay. That is their strength, they're distributing books. Your strength is clean the floor perfectly clean like a mirror. Clean it. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes, your service, the book distribution service, the pots cleaning service, the cook being a main cook of the temple, everything is same in his eyes. He sees only the internal content. And that's what we need to develop through our chanting. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks at, there are many people. So first he looks at Srivas, and he says, Srivas, do you remember when you were in the school of Gadadhar Pandit, not Gadadhar Pandit, what's his name, Devananda Pandit. When you went to his school, they were reading Bhagavatam. But by listening to the Bhagavatam, he used to go into trance, he used to go into ecstasy. And he used to say, Hari, Hari, right? And then they was like, why he is screaming? What's wrong with him? And the students of Devananda Pandit, they used to carry you and throw you out of the school. And they used to drop you on the road. But you are still in ecstasy. When you are out of ecstasy, when you come out of the trance, you find yourself outside. After that, whenever you hold Bhagavatam, whenever you read Bhagavatam, your heart's ecstasy, your tears flows from your eyes. You could not read Bhagavatam sometimes because your eyes are filled with the tears of ecstasy. You know who gave you that ecstasy? It's me. And then he looked at what is his name? What's his name? Gangadas Pandit. He looks at Gangadas Pandit. He says, Gangadas Pandit, do you remember? When Muslims were attacking your family, when they're running behind you, You came to Ganga in the middle of the night and there is no boatman. And you are praying, you're praying to Lord Krishna saying, please, please help me. I don't want these Muslims to touch my daughter or my wife and do whatever their nonsense they will do. Please protect us. No boatman is here. The Ganga is flowing so heavily. Nothing is there. Please protect my family. And then, do you remember? Out of nowhere, a boatman came and helped you to cross Ganga. That's me. That's me who came and helped you. And if these devotees, when they're hearing these things, they are just in so much happiness, so much ecstasy. And then he says, go get Sridhar. And then they're like, who is this Sridhar? Who is Sridhar? And then he says, and he gives the direction, which direction they have to walk. And it says, you go and you find the Sridhar chanting my holy names there. Go call Sridhar. So the Sridhar, he sells banana leaves, whatever he can sell from that banana tree. Right? So Kolavech, that's why he's called Kolavech Sridhar, because he sells bananas and banana leaves. So they go and, by this time he comes to know that who is Nimai, because Nimai, he used to, when he was a child, he used to go to Sridhar every single day. Every single day he goes to Sridhar and he says, Sridhar, how much are these bananas? And then Sridhar gives a price. And he says, oh, you're a cheater, it is too expensive. Nobody is selling this much expensive. He says, Nimai, no, I'm giving you very low price. If you want, go find out in the market. He says, why should I go and find out in the market? You go find out in the market. You are cheating me. And he says, no, Nimai, this is the minimum price I can give you. And then he argues with him for 2 hours every day, like that he's cheating and these bananas are, and sometimes he argues and argues and argues. After 2 hours, he says, these bananas are not even worth. Who will buy these bananas from you? And then he will say, now tell me how much you will give me. And then he says, Nimai, this is it. I cannot reduce the price anymore. This is all I can give you. And he says, I'm going to take it for free. Sridhar says, if you take it for free, how am I going to survive? I need some Lakshmi. He says, why you need Lakshmi? Why you are so rich? You are so rich. You are hiding all your treasure. And you are not revealing your treasure. You are cheating everybody in Navadvip. This is Nimai. You saw my house. You saw me. And you know how much I'm getting. I am not cheating. What you see is what I am. And he says, no, I know what you are. I know you. I know your treasure. I'm going to exploit you one day. I'm going to expose you one day to Navadvip. I know who you are. And he says, I'm going to take it for free. And then he takes the bananas and runs away for free. You don't pay. And then he comes some other time. Next day, same argument. How much are the bananas? How much is the banana leaf? Same argument. And he says, Sridhar, why are, and he said, and Sridhar's policy is like whatever he gets the money out of whatever he sells, 50% of the money he uses it to worship Mother Ganga. And 50% of it he keeps it and he reproduces, bananas and what, because he grows them. So Nimai comes and asks him, what are you doing with all this money? You get so much of money. And Sridhar says, I don't get much money, Nimai. But whatever I get, 50% I use to worship Mother Ganga. He said, oh, you worship Mother Ganga? Why you worship Mother Ganga? And he says, and Sridhar says, you don't understand, Nimai. Okay, and Nimai says, okay, I don't understand. But you know why you're worshipping Ganga? You know why she became holy? Because she washed my holy feet. That's why she became holy. And Sridhar closes his eyes and says, Krishna, 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 how restless you are, Nimai. Why are you so restless? Why are you speaking like this? And then, no, I'm telling you the truth. She became holy because she washed my holy feet. So you better worship my holy feet, not her. And he says, Krishna, 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 Nimai, don't be too mischievous like this. And he says, you worship Krishna also. But what is Krishna giving you? Look at all those people who is not worshipping Krishna, how rich they are. They're having such a nice house. They're having such big comforts. They're so happy. Look at your heart. If one big rain comes, everything is inside. The all water is inside. You don't even have proper clothes. Look at your clothes. You have more thorns than the actual cloth on your dhoti. What is this? What is Krishna giving you? Why are you worshipping this Krishna? He is not giving you anything. And then Sridhar says, Nimai, I am happy with what I have. I'm very satisfied with my life. See, I told you have treasure that satisfies you. Because of the treasure you are satisfied, and I'm going to expose you one day. That I'm going to show Navadvip what treasure you are carrying with you. He says, Nimai, I don't have any treasure. This is all I have. I'm telling you, I will expose you one day. And then every day they will have arguments like this. So now they bring Sridhar in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during that Mahaprakash Leela. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks at Sridhar and he asks Sridhar, Sridhar, ask me for a boon. I will give you everything. You want 8 mystic siddhis? You want liberation? What do you want? Whatever you want, heavenly pleasures, I will give whatever you want. Ask me for a boon. And Sridhar says, Oh Lord, I do not want anything. And then he reminds, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reminds him all these banana stealing pastimes, and he tells Sridhar, Sridhar, you remember? Every single day in my house, I will never have a meal without a fresh banana leaf from your store. Every day, Sridhar, Kolavich Sridhar, he comes and gives few banana leaves to Mother Sachi. So she used to serve me my meal only on those banana leaves. If you don't have a fresh banana leaf, he doesn't take lunch. Nimai. So you remember? If I don't take lunch if I don't see your fresh banana leaf. And you remember that wild squash that grew on your hut? And you came and gave it. My mother made a sabji out of it. Oh, what a beautiful nectar that sabji was. Sridhar, please ask me a boon. I am very pleased with you. And Sridhar says, My Lord, I am very happy. I am very satisfied by looking at you. I do not want any boon. No, Sridhar, I want to give you something. Please ask. He says, No, Lord, I am very happy. Sridhar, please ask a boon. And then Sridhar says, Lord, don't become restless. I am happy. Be peaceful. I am happy. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like, I am peaceful, but I want to give you something. Please ask me something. Ask for a boon. And Sridhar says, because you are saying that will please you, bold and capital letters, devotees. Because you said that will please you, my Lord, I will ask you for a boon. And what did he ask? He said, please let that child Nimai, who comes and argues with me, who used to come and argue with me every day for 2 hours, who comes and steal my bananas every single day, let that form be in my heart forever. Let me worship that form in my heart forever, my Lord. I do not want any other benediction other than this. And all devotees were crying in ecstasy. Their tears are flowing in ecstasy by looking at this ecstatic exchange between Kolavich Sridhar and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then we have 5 minutes. Maybe I should stop. It's 12:30. Should I share one more pastime or should I stop? So I'm looking at every piece's face. That means I'm asking you for excuse, Prabhu, please.
Come forward. You're blocking the lot of spaces.
So I'm been practicing Krishna consciousness for last 23 years. I'm 100% vegetarian. I will not eat any of you. Please come forward. I'm not going to bite any of you. Please come forward. Before I start the next pastime, I will wait until all of you move forward, please. You can come here and sit. Okay. So then he looks at who will take next. Kolavita Sridhar, and then we'll take one person that he will not look at. So that way we'll learn some lessons from that. So from Kolavita Sridhar's pastime, remember, it's again the sincerity and the true love and devotion towards Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He did not worship Krishna, he did not worship Mother Ganga for any material desires. He just worshipped them because he loved them. The true love towards Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, unmotivated, uninterrupted, unconditional love of Kolaviti Sridhar. So like that, everybody, there are few devotees, this is 2 hours if you want to do Mahaprakash Leela, but I'm just sharing so that we are ready to receive that mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tomorrow. So everybody is getting mercy, Mukunda, Murari, everybody is getting mercy. And then he is giving mercy to everyone. But see, she is also ecstatic listening to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So everybody is getting mercy, but he doesn't call Mukunda. And everybody is like, oh, one after another, everybody is coming. And then he says, my lord, you didn't call Mukunda. Mukunda is behind the curtains, waiting for him to call. You didn't call Mukunda. You didn't give mercy to Mukunda. And he says, I will never give mercy to that Mukunda. He is a hypocrite. But my lord, he is always with us. He is not a hypocrite. You give mercy to everybody. You are Patita Pavana. You are the merciful Lord. You come here to save the fallen conditioned souls. And Mukunda is here all the time. He's the singer. He's singing. He's glorifying your holy name. He's glorifying you. Please, my Lord, show your mercy. He says, never ever bring his name in front of me. And then Mukunda is crying behind the curtains. And then these devotees don't know. They kept begging. And he says, my Lord, what is the reason that you don't call Mukunda? What is the reason? And he says, when he was young, his teacher, the teacher was against the path of bhakti. The teacher was very critical towards the path of bhakti. And this Mukunda was supporting his teacher. So he is hypocrite. So I'm not going to give any mercy. And Mukunda standing behind the curtains, he was thinking, yes, I was like that. I was supporting my teacher. My Lord, yes, you are correct. And then the devotee said, will he ever see you? Because now they are not looking at Niyama, they are not looking at they are actually looking at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mahaprakash Bhava, right? Will he ever see you? Will he ever look at you? And then he says, yes, he will see me after 10 million births. And then Mukunda started jumping behind the curtains, saying, I will see the Lord after 10 million births. I will see the Lord after 10 million births. And then he started jumping, crying in ecstasy. He was ecstatic. And then devotees like, 10 million births? And then they go to tell Mukunda, Mahaprabhu, but then Mahaprabhu sees, Mahaprabhu knows the heart of the devotee. So he could see how ecstatic Mukunda was. Then he says, go bring Mukunda. And then devotees go to bring Mukunda. And they say, Mukunda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to see, he will see you now. I want to see Lord 10 million after 10 million births. Mukunda, Lord wants to see you right now. Oh, I'm so happy. Lord wants to see. I will see Krishna in 10 million births. He is not listening to anything that devotee says. He is ecstatic that he is going to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after 10 million births. The devotees could understand. He is in ecstasy. He is not going to listen. So they all together pick him up. And then they bring him and put him in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he looks at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks at him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu feels very happy. And Mukunda feels very happy. And through that pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealing us that mercy is not something that we can demand. We cannot demand mercy because I wipe the floors today, next Sunday. By the time next Sunday I come, I have to become a pure devotee. or because I wash the pots in the kitchen, by next Sunday when I come, there should be some effulgence coming out of me that people see. I become normal. I have to go back to Golok Vrindavan in this very lifetime because I cleaned your temple. Mercy is not something that is but comes by demand. Mercy is given out of the Lord's free will. If He wants to give mercy, He will give it. If He wants to protect us, He will protect us. If He wants to kill us, He will kill us. When He wants to kill us, nobody can protect us. When He wants to protect us, nobody can kill us. We have few pastimes in Bhagavatam. Prahlad, what things that Hiranyakashipu did to kill Prahlad? But he couldn't do anything, not even a scratch on his body. Right? Hiranyakashipu fought so much. When Narasimhadev decided to kill him, who can protect him? Enter his army could not. Ravana. Who could protect Ravana? So many things in the pastimes of Bhagavatam. So bhakti is our sincerity in serving Krishna. Bhakti is us trying to reconnect to Krishna, trying to re-establish that lost connection to Krishna that comes only by sincerely practicing our devotional service. By the causeless mercy of His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, we are all allowed to practice that same thing that we are listening in Bhagavatam. We are all allowed to practice that same thing we are listening in these pastimes. Without His mercy, we are not here. So on this auspicious day that is coming tomorrow, let us all be grateful to His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, to our spiritual masters and Guru Parampara, and try to practice that sincerity. Let us beg. We are not in a position to demand. Let us beg for the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that we can experience that same happiness and we are happy. We should be happy and we should be ready to share that happiness to the entire world and to the entire community, to the entire world, so that everybody can feel happy, everybody can feel the same bliss that we have been given out of causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.
What do you have? Stand up, Ketan now.